all. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jan Potsman, and I'm an assistant director at the CSUN Career Center. And I welcome you to our very last session for Internship Week. I'm so glad that you've joined us throughout the week, and we saved one of the best for last. So I have Selene Preciado is here today. Will Julie? Oh no, you're by yourself today. Selene Preciado is here today to present about the Getty Multicultural Undergraduate Internship Program. It's an amazing program. I'd like to share a bit about Selene. She is a program associate at the Getty Foundation, where she supports museum and leadership and professional development initiatives through Pacific Standard Time and the Getty Multicultural Undergraduate Internship Program. Prior to her current post, she worked as a curatorial research assistant at the Los Angeles Museum of Contemporary Art, or MoCA, in 2013 and 2015 to 2015, and at the Museum of Latin American Art, or MOLA, from 2009 to 2013. Preciado obtained a BA in Visual Arts from the University of California, San Diego, and holds an MA in Art and Curatorial Practices in the Public Sphere from the University of Southern California. Take it away, Selene.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the introduction and for including us in this amazing week. And I hope that the information that is presented here is useful. I'll try to, there's a lot of information in the presentation. I'll try to cover all of the points, but please feel free to ask questions at the end. The program is really complex, so yeah, don't hesitate to ask. Any question is welcome, because we understand that the program has a lot of layers. So
Selene, one thing yes. I'd like to add is please, students, please put your questions in the chat. As you can see, Leslie has asked you to put your microphones on mute, and we have cameras off because we are recording this and we're posting it on our CSUN YouTube channel, and so therefore we can't have your image or your audio file on YouTube. So thank you for that, and so you can post your questions all throughout the chat. Okay, back to you, Selene.
Thank you. And I'll try to, if I see any question that is that I feel like I can respond, I'll respond, but we can go back to the questions at the end. We like to start this presentation by sort of giving a pitch for internships and the importance of internships. And this is sort of like, the introduction to what an internship is. I know that you've seen many presentations, and you also had a presentation from our sister program, the LA County Arts Internship Program. So I know that my colleague Martin might have gone through a lot of very similar information, but we like to just emphasize the importance of internships, especially in the arts. It's a great way not only to build your skill set, but also learn about yourself, about what you like. And obviously, we are advocates for paid internships. Our internship program is a paid internship. So any experience or any opportunities that you see that are paid, just take advantage of those. So this internship gives students the opportunity for career exploration and development, to learn new skills, to put, things on your resume. The internships usually have a main or capstone project that the intern sees through completion, in addition to day-to-day activities and just administrative work and anything related to each specific position. But there is something that you can put on your resumes that you saw through completion on the 10 weeks of the internship. And the benefits of an internship, it gives you an opportunity to, like we mentioned, gain valuable work experience, develop new skills, test career options. This internship program is not focused on just one or two career paths in the arts, because usually arts internships are focused on curatorial or education or conservation, and this program actually covers most of the different career paths in the arts. So we have positions in curatorial, education, conservation, those sort of like the most well-known positions in museum work, but also others like communications, marketing. And so it's very varied, and it offers a lot of opportunities. And one of the reasons why we make this pitch is because through internships, you will also expand your network or build your community. You'll get to know peers and also other professionals that can become your mentors and guide you through your path if you want to stay in this career path in the arts. And we would like to read this quote from the Chief Diversity Officer of the Phillips Collection on the power of a paid internship. And museums and art organizations bear responsibility to eliminate barriers to employment by providing meaningful opportunities for students to learn about the museum field. However, most museum internships are unpaid, disqualifying those who are unable to work for free. Paid internships provide the next cadre of museum professionals with the training and skills to establish credentials and networks. And this is key because my colleague Julie and I always like to tell stories from when we were undergrads. And for example, I had a few internships, but they were unpaid. This was over 10 years ago. And I would have loved to have a paid internship opportunity, because at the same time that I had 2 or 3 internships going, I had a part-time job at Starbucks, because especially students of color or students, from a certain economic background cannot afford to work for free. So you have to have something on the side. But luckily, we've been seeing more and more that museums and other organizations are being responsible and offering these opportunities paid and not for free. And your school, that's where you're here. Your career center coordinator, they can help you not only find these opportunities, but also put together your materials and guide you through the different requirements, depending on where you're applying to. It's usually sort of a combination of similar requirements, like a cover letter, resume, or sometimes a personal statement. So make sure that you find also tutors or someone that can, someone that can help you proofread and organize your material. So and find out all the details and the hours, because sometimes you can get school credit. So make sure to ask. And now more specific to our program and a little bit about the history of the program. The Getty Multicultural Undergraduate Internship Program has promoted diversity in museums since 1993. The program was a response after a very actually a very similar moment that we're living in, a historical moment locally in our city, in our county, after the LA riots, the beating of Rodney King and the LA riots. The region was going through sort of a reckoning similar to what we have been going through in the past few years. And cultural leaders in our region got together to see how they could contribute to offering, or not offering, but opening the doors to our cultural institutions and making people, our communities, feel welcome. So one of the many things that came out of those conversations was this program. So the Getty, because we specialize in the visual arts and in offering many how can I say is many entry points to the visual arts. We have as you know, the Getty Research Institute, the Conservation Institute, the museum, and the foundation, all under the umbrella of the Getty Trust. The leaders back then, one of them, our director, longtime director, Deborah Amaro, who passed away in 2018, they put together this idea or this vision to offer opportunities to undergraduates and it's with a multi-pronged goal of diversifying the institutions, but also making space for students of underrepresented groups or students from groups that have been traditionally excluded from these spaces to actually feel welcome, and that these are spaces for us as well. And these graphs that you'll see in the next couple of slides come from various reports. One of them, we released an impact report in 2020, assessing our program and how we've been doing, for the past several years, since we are about to celebrate our 30th anniversary this summer. The program was started in 1992, like I mentioned, but the first class, like the first cohort, was in 1993. So we have this report, or like this series of reports from LA County and other organizations also nationally that have done studies on the workforce and the arts and representation of people in color in the arts. And, I feel like we don't need graphs to know that people of color are underrepresented in the arts, but it is especially an issue in LA because it doesn't reflect the demographics of our region. The demographics of our region, as you know, is actually majority people of color. So our goal is that our institutions, the staff of institutions reflect our population. And this is from our program report. And this is from surveys that we did. We surveyed alumni of the program in various ways through, sort of like SurveyMonkey, and also focus groups, interviews, and all of that data. We use all of that data to determine how to assess the program moving forward. But it is very important to see, that the numbers, even though they're growing, we want to see them improve. And I feel, or I always like to say that it is also our responsibility, as people of color working in the field, but also for students that are interested in entering the field. We all have a little bit to contribute to in improving these numbers. And our impact report from 30% of the alumni surveyed still work in the arts. So that is very good news. And we try to, keep track of our alumni cohort and offer different opportunities, like support to go to conferences and other types of grant opportunities. 90% of those working in the arts say that their internships inspire them to pursue a career in the arts. And 68% of them stay in touch with their host organization and supervisor. And this is also key because the experience of this internship is a lot has to do with your supervisor, or the people who will be your supervisors. And we invest time in also supporting supervisors so they can be the best supervisors and offer the best internship experience. So we have training for supervisors before the internship starts. And the relation that the intern develops with the supervisor is also very important, because supervisors, we like for supervisors to look at themselves as mentors to all of the interns and guide them and be there for them even after or beyond the internship. And this is a lovely photo of the class of 2019 at the Getty Center. So since the program has existed since the 90s, and we're about to celebrate the 30th anniversary, there are over 1,000 alumni that have come out of the program. I would say, according to the stats that we saw, about half of them are still working in the arts. And this is a photo from an event that we coordinate from the foundation. We offer a couple of educational programs. One of them is a career day at the Getty. So this photo is sort of like the class of 2019. So that includes, I think it's about 120 interns, and includes, every year we have about 20 to 25 interns at the Getty Center and Getty Villa working in different departments, and also about 90 to 100 working in other organizations across LA that that are offering internships with the support of the Getty Foundation. So right now we're actually in the timeline of the internship. We between today and tomorrow, we are sending out the awards to organizations that applied to host interns actually last fall, and they get Getty grants to support their hosting interns. So the applications, and we'll repeat this information, but the applications for the internships at the Getty Center and the Getty Villa has already, the deadline has already passed, but it's slightly earlier. So that way, because the program is so competitive and there's such a limited amount of positions available at the Getty, you will get another opportunity to be a Getty Marrow intern at another institution. All of the interns in the program are Getty Marrow interns, and it doesn't matter if they work at the Getty Center or at other organizations like LACMA, Self-Help Graphics. Everyone is a Getty Marrow intern, and everyone that has all of the cohort every summer goes through the similar activities, and we have the educational programs that happen at the Getty to work. Interns have the opportunity to meet each other. So this is, I mentioned at the beginning, the program is a little bit complex for the reason that I was explaining, that we sort of divided into two, and they have slightly different timelines at the beginning, even though by the time of the summer comes, then all of the interns are together at the same time. But we internally at the foundation, we sort of divide the internal Getty Marrow as internships at the Getty Center and the Villa, and the external is those Getty Marrow internships at LA organizations. And so every year we have over 100 interns. And in 2022, I don't have the, no, actually I have the exact numbers. So there will be about 120. 130 interns in summer of 2022, and 105 positions available in a couple of weeks. And all internships are full-time, 40 hours, approximately 40 hours a week, depending on the organization. And actually, this has to be updated because we increased the stipend for summer 2022. It will be $6,400. So it's a little bit more in alignment with the minimum wage increase that was recently announced in February. And so it's approximately $16 per hour. And the timeline of the internship is 10 weeks of work that are consecutive. There are no breaks in between, sort of like an intensive course between June and August. And this is, a snapshot of the departments that are offering positions at the Getty Center and Getty Villa. Unfortunately, the deadline passed, but it's just so you can see that there are different departments across the Getty and across the programs of the Getty. So there are interns at the museum, at the Research Institute, the Conservation Institute, and also we have one intern at the foundation and doing, different things, but they also have activities together. So if you're interested in an internship at the Getty Center in Getty Villa, please check. And if you're eligible to participate next year, please check our website in December. The application usually opens the first week of December through February of the following year. And yeah, make sure that you check in with your career center for support. And so this is the snapshot of the other positions that are open and available at other organizations across LA. And these are the types of departments or departments that offer, in which internships are offered. So archives or education, as I mentioned, collections, public programs, and maybe a lot of these things don't mean anything to you right now, especially, if you haven't explored these type of career paths, but that's actually what the internship is for you to explore these opportunities. And so, as I mentioned, these applications will open in a couple of weeks. So please check the website on the week of the 15th or the 21st. All the listing of all of the available positions is centralized on our website. And then each organization announces it in their own websites and social media and so forth. But if you want a centralized place where you can see all of the positions available, go to our website. And this is, it's part of screenshot and of what you will see when you go to our website, but also a list of organizations that usually participate every year in the internship, just so you can see the range of types of institutions. So you have, the culturally specific institutions, large encyclopedic institutions. So you have a lot to choose from, and it depends obviously on what you're interested in. But I invite you to look at our website. The left-hand side has the place where you need to go to find this information. And sorry, it's not like it's not very user-friendly, our website, but we're in the process of upgrading. But when you go to the section information for students, you will see the list of all of the positions from 2021. So right now, if you access our website, this is what you're going to see. And we like to keep it up. We obviously refresh it as soon as all of the positions are announced and approved. But we like to keep up the old list so that students that are interested in the program can see the type of institutions, the type of positions. All of the positions have sort of like a drop-down menu. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor, but when you click on each position title, then it expands into a description of what the position is and the application requirements. So this is very important. I'm sorry, my dog is barking in the back. I hope it's not too distracting. But you have to apply to each organization individually, and each organization has different deadlines and different requirements, and this is based on their own requirements as an institution. The deadlines will be around the same time, so probably like mid-April, end of April, maybe mid-April, because there will be like the interview process and all of that. But we always have to give the tip, if you're interested, because I feel like there's different ways to go about it in terms of exploring all of these 105 positions that will be posted. If you can approach it from the perspective of location. So if you're interested in organizations that are close to where you study or where you live, you can focus by location. Or if you're interested in very specific positions like education, and you want to see all of the education positions and what they're offering and go about it that way, we suggest that you make a checklist. I love spreadsheets. We love spreadsheets, and a spreadsheet may be the most useful tool, just because you could sort it by deadline or, by the requirements. And yeah, it's very important that you do your research, not only on the institution that you're applying to and what they're offering in the internship, but also make sure that you capture all of the requirements, because they will be, even though they will be similar, they are different, they have different deadlines, and you have to follow each organization's instructions. So for example, the one that is expanded here, it has an email to submit a cover letter. Some organizations may have a link that you have to follow to submit your application. And yeah, so I'll move faster in this section, but we like to make mention of the fact that you don't need to be an arts major in order to be eligible. Students can come from any discipline. You don't have to have what we call a prior commitment to the arts. If you're curious, if you're interested and passionate, that is more than enough. You don't have to have previous experience. And here we have, this is a blog post from an intern from 2018, Sachi Hillard, who was actually a chemistry major, and she explored opportunities in the arts, and she ended up working in the conservation lab, and she still works in conservation. So yeah, don't be intimidated if you come from a major that doesn't have anything to do with the arts. The internships are for you to explore these possibilities and learn that there are a lot of, it's an interdisciplinary field. You can come from a lot of fields and be successful and contribute. So the requirements for this program, because of the genesis of the program that we explained at the beginning, this program is local. So it's intended for residents of LA. So students who are from Los Angeles or attending school in Los Angeles County. If you currently enroll undergraduates or recent graduates as early as April 2022. And it's intended for members of groups underrepresented in museums and visual art organizations, including but not limited to, and this is very important to emphasize, even though we list some groups, it's not limited to the groups that are mentioned here. If you believe that you belong to a group that is underrepresented in the arts, you are welcome to apply, as long as you also fulfill the rest of the eligibility requirements. Students must be United States citizens or permanent residents, and also students with DACA status that is valid through the end of the internship period are also eligible. Oh, sorry, and then there's a little note here. Yeah, this is like the previous commitment to the arts, not necessary, but this is also very important. As long as you are eligible, you can participate as many times as you can, but it has to be a different institution. So for example, if you get an internship this summer at, I'm like blanking out all the organizations, at LACMA, maybe next year you can apply, and if you're still eligible, you can apply to an internship at the Getty, and then at Corridor Center. So there you can explore different types of organizations, many sizes, and many types of institutions. So take advantage of this opportunity, because we know that not all programs have this sort of feature. And yeah, just lastly, a few tips on preparing a strong application. So like I mentioned, do your research on the organization's mission, exhibition history, anything that interests you. What supervisors or people reviewing applications want to see is that you know that you've done your research and that there's a connection from what they do to who you are, but also what you want to do. And also very important to look what they're looking for an intern, how you fulfill those goals, what you will bring to the institution, and how you will benefit from the experience. And yeah, like I said, make a checklist. I love checklists and spreadsheets. They're very useful tools. I mean, and it can be It doesn't have to be a Word document or a spreadsheet. You can do Post-its and, as however you organize yourself, just make sure that you know who, like which application goes where. And if you have, like a main template that you are customizing for each organization, also you can apply to as many organizations as you'd like. And, we know that that's also a lot of work, but we always recommend that you make like a template and then you customize it. So in that customization, just make sure that you proofread and that you don't mix up institutions, and you send it to Mocha and it's actually addressed to Getty. So just make sure that everything is organized. And yeah, ask your student center for any tools or resources for writing cover letters and personal statements. They are different, even though they have sort of like the same goal. The cover letter is obviously a more formal way to express your interest in a position, and a personal statement is sort of like a more narrative, lyrical way of doing the same thing. But just make sure that if an organization is asking for a personal statement, that you actually submit a personal statement and not a cover letter. Also, how your skills or experience, and this doesn't mean necessarily job experience, but your experience as a human being align with the goals of the internship. And yeah, some organizations will ask for writing samples depending on what the position is. There are positions in publications and communications. So those type of positions, I feel like sometimes require writing sample because it is important for the work that they do. And official transcripts. And I have to say that I don't think that organizations, like the other organizations that are not the Getty, request transcripts. I think that only the Getty requests transcripts. So I think that you're good. And this is very important. I think that I addressed it a little bit at the beginning of the presentation, that even if you don't have experience, if you're not an art student, but you want to explore this path, you like the arts, you're curious, you are passionate about art, but you haven't had an opportunity to explore it because, different reasons, one of them being that, especially for people of color like myself, it's challenging to enter a field that, in which we have been made feel like we haven't excluded historically. So don't feel intimidated. For this program, all of the experience is valid and important. So for example, I mentioned that I work at Starbucks. If you work in retail or as a barista, it is very important to put that in your resume, in your activities, or and wherever is relevant to include those experiences, even if they're volunteer, because that will show the supervisor or whoever is reading the application that you are responsible, reliable, that you will show up, and that you have other skills that are transferable to any type of work, especially working with people. And yeah, like this says, not all skills are job specific, and that's also what this internship program is looking for, is for the interns who have this internship during the summer to gain skills that will also be transferable to other things. I mean, particularly working in museums, but also there are skills that are transferable to work just in general. And yeah, the internships are important to bridge the gap. If you don't have experience, it's not only to learn about yourself, what you're good at, what you like, but also to get access to this career path. And yeah, we talked a little bit about cover letters and resumes, and cover letters and personal statements. But yeah, your cover letter, make sure that anything you produce, you do it with the support of your career center, but also very important, ask someone to read it, even if it's a friend, another student, if it's a peer. It doesn't, if it's a professor or someone in your career center, it's better. But as long as you have another set of eyes to help you proofread, it's very important because, we always catch things, and it's very important to submit something that has been proofread. And yeah, again, research about the institution, why you want to work there, and what you'll bring, the elements of your personal story that connects. A lot of people are like, oh, I like the arts or I like making art since I was 5 years old, or I visited, museums since I was little. That's sort of like very generic. Try to be more personal in your experience. Because everyone will, bring the same type of, claim that, whenever I visited, the Getty when I was 5 years old. So try to be more personal than that, and connect. That's why we say, like, do your research. Like, for example, if you visited an exhibition, a specific exhibition, what was that you connected to when you saw that? Something that is more specific and not too generic. And so resume, everything clean, proofread, and easy to read. And then you had a successful application. You are actually, part of the program, and this is sort of tips to have a successful internship. So just make sure that you have a clear communication with your supervisor from the beginning, and that responsibilities, goals, and expectations are stated clearly at the beginning of the internship, especially about these points, your work schedule, mandatory events, etiquette about meetings, or other people in your organization or your department. And remember, just be curious. I keep mentioning be curious because I feel like this is a very important quality to have in general, but in the arts. And start building community, establishing relationships, because most likely, the people, if you decide to stay in this career path, the people that you meet through the internship program will be there through your career. So make sure that you establish good relationships and build community and stay connected. And so that's all. We have a few minutes for Q&A, but so important dates. Like I mentioned, the deadline for the internships at the Getty Center in Gettyville has passed, but the other positions at 75 organizations with Getty Foundation grants will open in a couple of weeks. So please start to visit our website and refresh. Unfortunately, we don't have a set date because it has to do with other internal processes, but make sure that you keep refreshing, and it should be updated on March 21st at the latest. I think that it will be refreshed a week before. But please visit the website, start exploring the positions from last year, so you get an idea of the organizations and the requirements. And a reminder that the internship cycle is 10 weeks. There's no vacation time. It's like an intensive course. And internships are between June 6th and August 26th. Obviously, there's a 4th of July weekend. Everyone gets it off. But there's no vacation time. And a reminder of our sister program from LA County Department of Arts and Culture. We offer internships in the visual arts and cultural organizations, and they do performing and literary arts. So that's all. And these are, I will also copy paste or put it in the chat so you have it, but these are our email addresses. My colleague Julie Butash manages the internal part of the program, but we work together and we collaborate and we create programming for interns together. So please feel free to email her as well. But here's my email, and you can write with questions and to request more information. So I will stop sharing and we can go to
all right, questions. Perfect. So thank you so much, Selene. Our first question comes from Sergio, and he asked, is this internship program strictly for arts? I am a computer science major, just wondering if there are any software related internships.
I want to say yes. So just to clarify, So the internships are in the arts. Everything it's focused on the arts. It's in museums, cultural arts organizations. The activities related to the internship are also art specific, but you as an intern can come from any discipline. And I'm not sure about the software part, but there are definitely positions that are technical. So maybe in conservation, there's a few like library like slash archives, library science type of positions. I'm not sure if that will be like very a mat like specific to this question. But yeah, I invite you to explore. Definitely you can come, you can be from any major and be interested. And if something catches your eye or you think, oh, I can do this, or I would like to learn how to do this, please, yeah, be bold and apply, because gaining the skills that you will gain through the internship will also be really helpful. So yeah, 2 parts. The internship is in the arts, but you don't have to come from the arts in order to be eligible.
All right, so next question comes from Esmeralda, who wants to know if graduate students qualify for this internship.
No, unfortunately, the internship is for undergraduates. So it's a Getty undergraduate internship program, but the Getty has a graduate internship program. So yeah, if you're a graduate a graduate student, please go to our website to review those opportunities. But yeah, this is for undergraduates or recent graduates. So for example, if you graduated in April, May, so between April and June of that calendar year, you're still eligible because you were a recent student and an emerging professional. So, but not if you are enrolled in a graduate program.
Perfect, thank you. And Tammy asks, what grade or perhaps academic year specifically do people start internships?
It varies. I want to say that it is very well. Like, how can I answer? Now, as a freshman, you can apply if you are eligible. So I would actually recommend, if you're a freshman and you're eligible, like start applying. Even if you don't get it this year for whatever reason, keep applying, because the application itself will help you build those skills, to to compose like strong applications, like a strong resume, cover letter, and all of that. It will give you like the experience of applying will be very helpful. But also, if you get the internship as a freshman, then you can do this every year. And I think that would be really cool. There are definitely people who have done this at least 3 times. Sometimes, unfortunately, students find out really late and until they're seniors or juniors, so they only have 1 shot. But if you are eligible and you feel that you can do this, I would say go for it and try to take advantage of the fact that you can do it as many times as you can, as long as you are still eligible. I don't know if that answered the question.
Yes, thank you. And if anyone else has any questions, feel free to go ahead and enter it in the chat.
Okay, this is Jan. I am just going to ask or actually sort of let the students know. You heard from Selene. She said, use your Career Center services. I strongly encourage you to do so, because we can critique your resume, we can help you, and once we critique it, and then you go back and rewrite it, you can bring it back to us again. So until it's ready to go, we prefer that you don't send it out until it's really ready to go, because we want you to be able to get that internship. So keep that in mind. We do have drop-in hours. We have them both live and virtual. So either way, you can connect with us and have your resumes read. Actually, even is there an essay for this as well?
It depends because each organization will have their own requirements.
Okay.
From what I've seen, so the Getty requests 2 letters of recommendation, transcripts, personal statement,
Right.
and like I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, and there's a form that works as like your resume, but you actually have to fill out because it's a centralized sort of application. So instead of reviewing, 200 resumes that look differently, we just have a form. But I don't think for external organizations, I don't see personal statements being requested very often. It's usually a cover letter, but it is important to know how to write a personal statement too.
Right. Because, and if you want to go to graduate school, you're going to will need to be able to write a personal statement, but we will critique those for you. So keep that in mind, because that is a document that you really want to hone. It's something that you need to, like Selene was saying, you don't want to just say, oh, I went to the museum when I was 5 years old and that was it. And I really like going to the Getty. You need to personalize that story a little bit more because you're painting a picture of who you are and why you want to do this. So the clearer you can make that for your reader, the better it is for them. Also, they read a lot of these. There's a lot of applications that come in. And so the better the writing is, the better it is for you. So if you bring it into us, we will help you critique it. You can also take it to the Learning Resource Center to look at the grammar. So there's resources for you on campus that can help you with that.
No, thank you. I really encourage you to use those resources, and yeah, your faculty are also very generous. We know that especially because of COVID and like remote work, classes being remotely, it has been challenging for students to actually make a personal connection with faculty, and sometimes that is a barrier to asking for a letter of recommendation. So we suggest that you can approach a professor and say, I was in your class and, this was my grade and maybe you don't remember me, but let's have, virtual coffee or, let's chat. And it particularly if you already have your application materials that you can share, or maybe this can be an introduction and tell them I'm interested in this position because this and that, and have that conversation that is more personal and in which you can connect with them so they can write a really strong letter of recommendation. I feel like that's in general what people should do, but I feel like it has been challenging, like with the virtual nature of things, to make those types of connections and for students to feel comfortable to ask for letters of recommendation from a professor that maybe they didn't even talk to in person during class. So yeah, make sure that you have a conversation with them that is about your goals, what you want to apply, and also make sure that you give them everything they need so they can write the letter. So give them your resume. Again, if, for example, if you already have your cover letter, share it with them. Or if you're like, I want, to request this letter, I'm not ready, but in a week I'll send you my cover letter. So make sure that they have all of the information so they can actually speak about you and not in general terms. So sort of like the same thing about the cover letter and resume. Try to establish a connection so they write strong letters for you.
Okay. There was something that came up when you were talking and talking about COVID, and where are the organizations are these virtual internships? Are they hybrid? Are they in person?
So the last couple of years, so 2020, 2021, they were fully remote, including programming, which was very, very challenging. I admire, anyone that puts together a virtual program now, because now I know what it takes. It's a lot of coordination, and at times, obviously, depending on what the event is, it can be more intense than an in-person event because of technology and and all of that. But this year, we all of the internships at the Getty are on site, are in person. For organizations, we did specify that not requirements, but that preference that all of the internships are on site, but also because, especially like right now that things are still sort of in a hybrid mode, we didn't want to sort of close the doors or be inflexible. So we told organizations, if your organization can offer telework to the intern, can extend the telework opportunities to the intern, you're welcome to do so, but the internship should be on site. And that is also coming from feedback from the past 2 years. Everything went well, and we're very happy that we had internships running during COVID, and we were also very lucky, very grateful that we could keep this program up when a lot of things shut down or were not possible to happen during COVID. But the feedback that we got from everyone, supervisors, interns, is that the experience is best when it's in person. So that's why we are encouraging strongly for the experience to be mainly on site at each organization. So I hope that answered the question. I know it's a little ambiguous.
Yes, no, it's helpful. It's something that I've been asking different, sometimes I forget, but I've been asking different organizations because, we are in transition. So I just didn't know. So Daniel, do we have any more questions in the chat?
Jan, we are all caught up on questions. And so before we wrap, does anyone else have any final questions?
Silence. I hear silence.
Silence.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Did you put in the chat how they can get in? Oh yeah, you did. It was on a slide.
Well, it was on a slide,
your
but
email.
I said that I was going to put my email.
Okay, in the chat. Yeah. And in the meantime, I like to thank all the students for coming and participating in Internship Week. I recognize some of the names on the list here that you've attended other sessions, so we greatly appreciate that. We hope that you walk away with more information and learning about these organizations and these fantastic opportunities for you. And I'd like to do a special thanks to Selene, because we worked with her last year, and so glad to have her back again to share this excellent program with you. And so thank you so much for sharing your expertise. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much. No, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the program. And yeah, just something that I forgot to mention is that all of the information that you saw on the slides is on the website, but it's just organized differently. But yeah, and so if you go to our website, you should be able to find all of the information. But if you have questions, please feel free to email me.
Okay. Can they connect with you on LinkedIn as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you can connect with her on LinkedIn. Thank you all so much. And to all the crew that supported today, and have a great rest of your week. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you, next week is our job fair. Remember, our job fair is on our career fair is on March 10th from 11 to 2. Sign up early because it is a virtual event. And with it being virtual, you want to be able to pick your time slots before they go away. That you get to meet with most employers, 10-minute individual sessions. That is such a rarity. I cannot tell you. That does not happen when we are live. When we are live, you get a minute, okay, to meet with an employer. And so there are the 10-minute individual sessions, as well as the group sessions, which I think are a half an hour. And so sign up for those. It really does give you great opportunities. And we hope to see you there on the 10th. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.